What is going on, everyone? I hope everyone's enjoying their week. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Black Apino the Apple Guy, and my channel specializes in tech tutorials, unboxings, and vloggings. And today I'm going to do my next video in my series of iPhone basics. I'm going to be talking about and showing you how to use Apple Pay. Now, Apple Pay is basically a virtual way of paying for purchases or for merchandise, whether it be online or from a merchant at a retail store. So what I mean by that, basically it means that you would be using your phone. It's kind of like a digital wallet that you would use to store your credit card and debit card information on that, and simply using that instead of having to pull out your wallet, pull out your credit card, showing them your ID, all of that. It's all stored on your phone, and then all you have to do is basically just hold it up to the POS system, or which is known as the point of sale machine, and just simply tap and scan with your face or with your finger, and then the process is done. And today I'm going to show you how to use this process in my line of short videos. So as you can see on my screen, on the left hand side, this is my iPhone 10, and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what my wallet has on it and just kind of show you how this works. So I'm going to tap on my wallet, and this is basically, as you can see, when you first open up the wallet, it's going to basically show you the Apple Card is here. This is typically going to be on all your Apple devices except for the iPad, because it doesn't really do the Apple Wallet. But on your iPhone, it will show this. This is basically just Apple's versions of a credit card. So they've done partnerships with credit cards in the past. I believe with one company, I believe it was called Barclay, and then they decided to this year decided to do their own Apple credit card. So we're going to actually go past that, and I'm going to show you, this is my Apple Wallet. This is basically everything that I store on here, from my debit card to my credit cards to all my loyalty cards to my Starbucks. Obviously, as you can see from this, and then my boarding passes and whatnot, it stores all that, and I use this basically for everything that I need to on a daily basis. Aside from me having to pull up my debit card at places and stores that don't carry the Apple Pay system. And what do I mean by the Apple Pay system? It's basically like when you go into like McDonald's, or if you go into like a convenience store and they have up on the window when you first walk in, they'll say like a little Apple, the Apple logo, and pay. Basically, what that means is that that establishment accepts Apple Pay. Basically, you can just take your phone, double click on the POS system, and pay for your merchandise or whatever it is you're paying for with your phone. Usually you can sometimes ask also if they don't advertise it, because sometimes they do. They just don't have a way of advertising that they do. So simply asking also will also help you in knowing what works and what doesn't work. I know that with American Eagle, they also do Apple Pay, and I've tried this numerous times, and they do this. It doesn't. It's not accepted. It's not everywhere that Apple Pay is available, but most convenience stores, like I know Target does Apple Pay. I believe Walmart might do a form of Apple Pay, but I believe you might have to use their app in order for it to work with your Apple Pay. But there are tons of retailers out there that do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to add a debit card or credit card to this, and then that's it. So as you can see, what we're going to do is, these are all my debit cards and credit cards. So we're going to scroll all the way up to the top, and what you're going to do is you're going to tap on the plus. And then from there, it kind of gives you a brief description on what Apple Pay is. It just basically tells you to add card to Apple Pay to send money to friends and make secure purchases on the store, in app, and on the web. Now, for those of you that may or may not know, you don't really have to use your debit card to pay for iTunes stuff or music on iTunes if you have a current balance on your iTunes App Store. So for those of you that may not know what that is, I will drop a link in the description, either here or there, on what iTunes Wallet is. I'm not going to really go into it, but you don't really need your debit card for that. Only if you run out of the balance on your iTunes Wallet or iTunes Pass, then you have to use your debit or credit card. So what we're going to do is hit continue, and then from here it'll tell you card type depending on what you're using. If you're applying for an Apple Card, then you would just basically tap on the Apple Card. If approved, it basically puts it in the Apple Wallet, basically the same way as if you were adding a credit or debit card. So basically what we're going to do is you're going to just tap on the add to debit or credit, and then you won't be able to see it on the screen. But as you can see right here, as you can see this little layout right there, basically all you do is you set your debit or credit card down, and it has to line up in the area, shaded area that you have located there. And once that is done, all you do is you line it up, and then it will bring you to card details, and then your name, and then the card number, and then you just follow a few more steps, such as entering in either like your password or your social security number, or you would basically add in these 3-digit PIN on the back of the card. And once that's done, it will go through the verifying process, and then once it's done, it will bring you back to the Apple Wallet. And then what will happen is that it will bring up something that says Amazon. It'll either be your card is ready for Apple Pay, or it'll tell you to like call the bank, or you'll receive an email saying that this was added to your Apple Wallet. And that's basically all there is. Now, usually, depending on the bank and depending on what card you're putting on, some will ask you to verify by either calling the bank and saying, yes, I'm verifying that I'm using this card for Apple Pay on my phone, and then they just verify by some information, and that's it. Others is just automatic. I know with the cards that I use, it was pretty automatic. It was already added to it, and all I got was an email confirmation telling me that this card had been added to my Apple Pay, and that's it. But with my debit card, I had to actually call the bank to let them know that I was actually adding this card to my Apple Pay, as well as with the credit card from my bank. I had to call, then do the same thing and let them know that it was being added to my account on my Apple Pay. And then once that was sorted out, that was pretty much it. And then I was able to use it right then and there. So basically, anytime you want to buy anything from an app store or anything that's online, if it has the capability, or if the website allows you to use Apple Pay, you basically would just go in, tap on, double click, and then you either get a face, or you would get holding near the card reader, depending on if you're doing it in a store, or if you are doing it with an older iPhone, you would just simply just put your thumb print on the device, and that's pretty much it. And that's basically how Apple Pay works. Now, this works on, like I said before, on pretty much any retailer who accepts this. Um, McDonald's, most fast food restaurants accept this. Jack in the Box, Carl's Jr.'s, they accept this. So if you're not sure and if you don't see it, all you have to do is just simply ask. And that is pretty much how Apple Pay works. I do know that a lot of people do tend to get a little afraid of the fact that they're afraid that the information will be stolen from your debit card when you use it, and that you don't have to worry about that. It gives you a different device number than what is shown on the pin, or basically on the card on your device. So real quick, we'll just go into the Apple Cash card, and as you can see, it gives you what is known as a device account number. Now, this is going to be for pretty much any debit card or credit card that you use. It will show that specific device account number instead of your debit card transaction. It is completely safe. You really don't really have to worry about anyone stealing your information off of this. And if you want to remove the card, you simply just go in, tap on any cards you want, scroll down to the bottom, and then you just hit remove card, and that is all that is to it. And that's how that works. And then you basically just go back in. If you want to add it again, you just simply go back in and do the same process again. And that is how Apple Pay works. That's how you add a card to it. And that is all. So if this video was helpful, please hit the thumbs up. If this was, hit the subscribe button. That way you never miss content when I drop it. And I do drop content every other Thursday. And stay tuned for my third video in this series of iPhone basics. But that is what I have now. This is my second video. And I want to thank everybody for watching. And have a great